I thought he was mixing the fastball to different quadrants. I thought he competed like he always does. I thought the slider was good. I thought the breaking ball was good. There were a couple mistakes in there with the fastball. Pierce, JD, the ball that just didn't get there, and the Mookie slider just didn't get there. And that's a good club over there, very good club, a great club. And so when he did make a mistake, they hit it out of the ballpark. And you got to give credit to David Price over there. He pitched a heck of a ball game and couldn't put hits together, couldn't get base runners, and really stress them at all. So it was pretty straightforward, but I can't say enough about, what our guys did. And unfortunately, we came short again this year.
Bradford on the third row.
Dave, what can you say just to sum up your club this year? All year you've kind of gone up to the edge and always come back from it, and finally just ran up against a really good team.
Well, I can't say enough about our ball club, the fight, the compete. All year when it didn't look so good, our guys stuck together, stayed the course, and believed in one another, and put ourselves in a chance to win a championship. And that's not easy to do. To get to the World Series where two teams are playing at the end, it's very difficult. There's a lot of hard work that comes with it, a lot of sacrifice, and you got to have good players. And we did that this year. Our backs were against the wall at numerous times, and there were markers and points where we could have went the other way. But we found ways to win baseball games and ran up against a very good ball club, and just a little bit too much for us.
And Arash over here.
Dave, when you come so close, what now in your mind is needed to get over the hump?
We've just got to go back out there, and I expect us to be back here next year. But celebrating on the field, I think it's I think the culture, the players, as far as the large majority are in place. I think there's a lot of good things. I think the sum of what we're doing, what we've done is the arrow's pointing certainly in the right direction. And baseball is so unpredictable. You got to obviously give yourself a chance to get to the postseason, and once you get there, you just got to be playing your best baseball. And so I think you look back and you got to appreciate the talent, the team that you're playing against. I don't think we played our best, but part of it, and you got a lot of it, is you got to give credit to the opponent. And we had a lot of time to think about this one, but again, spring's going to be around the corner, and like I said, I expect us to be back here next year.
On the second row on your left.
I know you will be discussing this with the front office over the coming months, but just from your gut, where do you believe this team needs to improve in order to win the World Series, and in any specific areas?
No. I think that's something that we're going to have a lot of time to kind of think through, and not everyone's going to be back. So, when you're talking about backfilling and how things go, so right now to kind of figure out where we need to go, that's a tough one. We have a lot of time for that. Like I said, our guys in the front office do a heck of a job to put us in a position to get the players, and we'll get over the hump. It's not easy. It hurts. It's disappointing, all that. But to say we didn't win a championship and to say it was an unsuccessful season, I think that's doing a disservice to everyone in that clubhouse.
Do a few more. Barry, to your right.
Hey, Doc, as far as you personally, correct me if I'm wrong, they still have an option to pick up for you for next year, right? That hasn't happened yet, right?
No, it hasn't happened yet. And honestly, I'm just kind of feeling for the guys in the clubhouse right now, and feeling their pain, the coaches, and all that stuff. There's time for all that stuff.
So how do you, the 3 years can't be judged as anything but a success with the NLCS and the two World Series. How do you evaluate it, and what do you want to do going forward?
Well, my plan is to manage the Dodgers. I love the city. I love the organization, everything that it's about. And I love the high expectations, and that's the way it should be. I can always get better, and I do believe that we're doing a lot of good things. And so for me, like I said, Barry, I told you 3 years ago that it's a dream job for me, and making these men grow and be better men, teammates, mentors, role models in the community. That's a win. That's a big win. And obviously, I understand my job is to ultimately lead us to a championship, and we haven't accomplished that yet. But like I said, the whole body of work, I'm proud of what we've done.
Do 3 more, Claire, here.
Hey, Dave. Congratulations.
Thank you, Claire.
On the season. Along the same lines, everyone in the house knew that this might be Clayton's last game. Did you say anything to him after the game, or where is that in your mind and heart, and what would you say to him?
The only thing I didn't have a one-on-one moment. I talked to the guys and basically said, proud of everybody and how fortunate I am to be around these men. And I did mention Clayton by name as far as his legacy with the Dodgers and what he's done for the organization, the fan base. Wearing this jersey, Clayton exemplifies what it is to be a Dodger and to be a man of character. So whatever decision he makes, that is with him and his family. But for me to be on his team for 3 years, I've learned a tremendous amount from him, and I'll take that going forward. And this one hurts for him. This one hurts for all of us. But the effort, the preparation, all the hard work that he has put in and his teammates, for me, is unparalleled.
Do 2 last ones before Clayton comes in, Mike.
Dave, obviously the series had a number of momentum shifts, but up 4-0, top of the 7th, Game 4. Are you going to look back on that pivotal moment and say that's kind of where the series shifted for the final time?
You know what? I think that we can always go back and look at certain moments, and that's what people do. That's what we all do. But ultimately, that was a very good ball club over there. And a lot of times you make your own breaks, and you still got to go out there and perform. And to their credit, when we gave them opportunities, they got big hits, and we didn't. That's baseball. And when you play a 7-game series, there certainly are moments that could go either way. But ultimately, and it's tough to say, but the better team won. So we can, and I'm probably going to go back and analyze certain things, and obviously that's what people do. But the thought processes and all the decisions that I made, were in place, and they don't always work out.
I'll finish up quickly with Bradford.
Dave, just kind of right on that topic, second guessing or thinking along with the manager because of the rise in social media, especially, has become a big part of the postseason.
Sure.
And but at any point during all of this, with the questions about your decisions, did you ever come close to losing your patience?
No, I think that I appreciate the interest in our game in baseball, and it's something that I love and I have a passion for. We all do. And so the interest, the opinions, all that thing, I think that's I kind of look at it as a good thing, because if there's interest and people have opinions, that's good for all of us. But I do know that there's a lot of thought and knowing your players and things that people aren't always privy to, that decisions that I make. And so, no, lose my patience, no. It's something that I love. I love competing. I love our guys. I love the way they go about it. And you look at 3 years and since I've been here, I'm pretty proud of the direction that this organization is in. And just speaking to the, Los Angeles fan base, there's a lot to be proud of in that room.
Dave, thanks for everything. Congrats
All right.
on a
Thank you.
pennant-winning season.
Thank you, Michael. Hey, Margaret.
Clayton Kershaw should be in momentarily. All right, we'll get started with Clayton. Who's got the first question?
Marcus?
Stand by. You're going to get
Go to the other side.
Yeah, just disappointed, I think. There's only one team that can win, and we know that, but it just hurts worse when you make it all the way and get second place, so haven't done that 2 years in a row now. It doesn't make it any easier, and, I'm proud to be part of a group that did get to go to the World Series 2 years in a row. Proud of that, proud of what we were able to accomplish this year as a team, and anytime you lose the last game when you're in the playoffs, it's no fun. So, just some disappointment right now for sure.
And the second row on your left.
Clayton, assuming that you return to the Dodgers next season, what do you believe this team needs to win the World Series? Any particular areas where you think it might improve?
They're a great team. I think what we were able to do in there this year, all those guys, we had so much depth in every single position. I don't know, to answer your question. I'm not sure what there is to be done. I think it's a little too early to think about all that stuff, obviously, but I think you have to realize that we are a really good team to get to go to the World Series 2 years in a row, and it might not be a personnel thing. It might just be a play better thing.
Yeah, right up front here, Barry.
Hey, Clayton, this is a little backdoor way of asking this, but would you prefer to stay here and get this job done?
Look, I know the future questions are obviously coming for myself. I don't want to take away from tonight, obviously, and what everybody's feeling, and never want to put the focus just on me or anything like that. This was a tough one for us tonight. It really was. Myself personally, it was tough. David pitched a great game, and I got out pitched, and we lost the game. And I got 3 days now to think about all that stuff before anything happens, and so it'll be an eventful 3 days for me, and try to figure it out.
And right up front here, Mike.
Clayton, Dave just told us that you have to tip your cap to the Red Sox, and they're a big reason why sometimes the things don't work out for you guys is they executed. How much of a margin of an error do you have when you're facing a lineup like that, and did that come out tonight?
Yeah, you have to give credit to the Red Sox. They're a great team. They won 108 games in the regular season, and they beat two teams that also won 100 games in the postseason, and then beat us 4-1. So they're a great team. Obviously, they have a lot of depth up and down the lineup. You saw guys, their starters out of the bullpen, starting, short rest, whatever they did. Their bullpen guys throwing the ball great. They're a great team. So not a lot of margin for error to answer your question. I made a few mistakes tonight, and sometimes you just wish they find a gap or find a single or something like that, and they went over the fence tonight. So that's the story of the game.
A few more. Dylan, third row on your left.
Clayton, the first inning there, how were you feeling, and what was kind of the adjustment that you made? Because the next, obviously, handful of innings went pretty smoothly for you.
Well, honestly, the first inning, Pierce put a good swing on that ball, but the one that hurt was the Benintendi single. It was 0-2, and you got to get that slider in the dirt, and he didn't hit it that hard, but he shouldn't be able to make contact on an 0-2 slider like that. So I left that one up, and that's what cost you. The solo homer in the first. You can deal with that one run, and exactly what David did. He gave up one in the first and shut him down after that, and I tried to keep it at 2 as best I could, and then the homers got to me there at the end, but not a whole lot of adjustment. Just just some bad pitches in there.
And just to clarify, so your understanding is you have 3 days to make this?
Yeah, I think I said 10 earlier, but then a month ago or so, but I found out it was 3 a little bit
not
ago.
Not 5? Because I've heard 5 also.
I'm fairly confident I have 3 days. It was confirmed to me, so I think I have 3 days is the opt-out window.
Okay, and just to clarify, you haven't made it that decision yet?
I haven't made the decision yet. We got 3 days, to talk between us and the Dodgers, see what happens, and then we'll go from there.
Would you be open to that? If getting something done within the next 3 days? Staying here?
I think we'll have some conversations for sure.
Anything else? All right, Clayton. Thanks as always.
All right, thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
All right.
We're waiting. Alex Cora and Steve Pierce will be in for the Red Sox. Steve Pierce. Yeah. Just Pierce, Cora and Pierce. Yes. Yes, should be, although we've had both ways. So.
One, two, three.
Michael?
Yes.